Welcome to This Week in Guns, a podcast that covers the commentary on the latest firearms industry news, information, and buzz. Brought to you by the Firearms Radio Network. I'm your host, Chick Challen from Gun Guy Radio, and you make this show possible. That's right, you simply click through our Amazon affiliate link the next time you're shopping online, and a small portion of your sale goes to supporting pro-gun shows like This Week in Guns. Well, we have a great panel. We have John Patton back fresh off the road from the Gun Collective. Hey, John.
Hi, Jake. How are you, buddy?
Doing great. So, yeah, you've been all over the country here in the last month.
Yeah, it's been a little bit bonkers. I've been home in the last month, maybe 5-6 days at most, and not all in a row. That's for sure. It's nonstop, and in, I don't know, like a week I'll be going back out to California to film some stuff with Whitey over there. So it should be cool, man. It's nothing but good times.
Very cool. And yeah, we have Whitey, otherwise known as Josh Cast of Four Guys Guns. Hey, Josh. And you're muted.
Pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me, Jake.
So you guys are working together now? What's going on?
For this particular job, it was too big for even me and my ego. I needed the skillful hands and creative mind of Jonathan Esquire Patton Rabbi Senior the Third, and it's a secret scroll project we're working on for SHOT Show. So we'll get into that, I'm sure.
Adam Kraut, Firearms Industry Consulting Group, a division of Prince Law Offices. Hey, did I forget to put Adam Kraut Esquire in there? I'm sorry.
Yeah, don't worry, I took care of that for you.
How's it going?
It's going. How are you? Thanks for having me again.
Going good. Patriot Patch Company sponsors this episode of This Week in Guns, where you can get the Bullet Bill patch over there, which, let's see here, I got it right here on my hat.
I like that patch a lot.
Yeah.
I have that patch. It's on my desk at my office.
Awesome. Yeah, so check it out, patriotpatch.co. Also have 9 T-shirts in stock, have a few other patches in stock, and a bunch of new pre-order patches on the way here in just a few weeks. So patriotpatch.co. Let's get into the top stories this week. I put this one on the front end because I hate talking about all this depressing stuff. But this is a little bit positive story here. A robbery prompts restaurant owner to offer concealed carry discount. So this happened in your neck of the woods. No, it was Indiana. We get to Pennsylvania here in a little bit. But yeah, a popular Cajun eatery in Indianapolis. I didn't realize Cajun food was big in Indy, but apparently the guy came in and he robbed the place. No one was hurt, blah, blah, blah. But, the gist of this story was that the owner came out afterwards and was offering a 25% discount to anyone lawfully concealed carrying to patronize his establishment. So,
yeah, I think that's freaking awesome. We unfortunately don't see too many business owners going out of their way to promote self-defense, and this is certainly one that does it in a big way. And I mean, a 25% discount is massive, especially in a place that doesn't have super crazy margins. I mean, that's freaking awesome.
Yeah, that could be their profit margin right there. So yeah, a good point. Last paragraph in this article says, this is the owner talking, he says, it's a shame that some people feel the need to stay away. And he's talking about how there's a very few people that complain that, oh, now you're telling people with concealed carry permits to come eat here. I'm not coming in anymore. So it's like, so they go out and eat with the possibility that a criminal will bring a gun in, but they'll stay away if they think customers might be carrying. That's weird to me.
Really weird.
So yeah, positive note. Hat tip to that guy.
Yeah, that's a great way to start the show off.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think we should try to find a positive story every week. Okay, moving on. LA City Council passes new gun storage measure. So, mandatory gun locks now in Los Angeles.
And how do they plan on enforcing that?
Right.
It's almost like Heller was never decided in 2008.
Talk to me, lawyer.
That was kind of the same thing that happened in Heller, where they were required to have things locked in their homes. These idiots are passing the same kind of crap. Whether or not they'll get smacked down is a different story. The Supreme Court did decline to hear a case out of San Francisco, so we'll see where this one goes. But you know how California is. It kind of marches to the beat of its own really messed up drum.
Well, the question I have is this, if it did get voted down or beaten or something similar was done before, maybe it's one of those, if you look at it at face value, it's like, yeah, it's unenforceable, don't worry about it. But is it one of those types of laws where it's like, if a police officer responds to, a noise disturbance or whatever, and they see a gun, is it just like a big broad stroke to kind of scare tactic people into either locking it up or getting out, moving, being done with it, kind of thing?
Is your
Is
wife
that making
watching,
sense?
Is your wife watching Netflix right now, Josh?
Yes, why?
You're breaking up like crazy.
You're
Awesome.
Yeah, so well, yeah, I mean, back to the point of enforcing it, I mean, so this comes to, I think a scenario where you lawfully use your gun in self-defense, and then they're like, how'd you get to your gun so quickly? Wasn't it locked up? I mean, there's crap like this when has gone on in like countries like Canada.
Yeah.
There was a famous case where they just couldn't believe that he could get his gun that was stored and locked separately from his stored and locked ammo and load it and be able to defend himself. He couldn't have done that in that short amount of time. So
he just came back from hunting. He was just out there.
Right.
Well, this story also cites theft. They're worried, I guess, about theft. Do we have any statistics, or is there a way to track how many gun thefts there are in the United States every year?
You'd have to do it by, well, I guess there's two ways, and well, no, really only one, because if the person never reports it stolen, right, there's a fairly good chance you would have no idea whether or not it was an actual theft or not.
Sure. That's why I asked.
So I would imagine if you went off the number of firearms reported stolen every year, you could get an idea. It certainly wouldn't be exact, but I really don't know what a deterrent that is, especially if we're talking about the gun itself being locked. Now, I'm not stored in a lock container or disabled. So if it's disabled with a trigger lock that's been approved by the California Department of Justice, everybody, you and I both know that, okay, well, while that may prevent somebody for the immediate future from being able to access it, what's that, 2 minutes with the proper tools and wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, here we go.
Yeah.
So I don't really see that being anything that deals with theft, perhaps in a lockable container, but even then, is the container free?
My point is that I don't think there are enough thefts to justify that reasoning for having to lock them up. You know what I mean? Like, if you're going to use that reason, there should certainly be a ton of thefts, and I simply just don't think that's the case. I think that's a BS kind of reason to try and do this.
It's BS also because they allow you to just put a gun lock on the trigger guard, so you can just pick up the gun and walk away with it locked.
So
it's just an excuse, dude. You don't need a legitimate reason. It's just, oh, look at this, and you know how it is. Most people don't want to think for themselves, so they'll just accept it at face value.
Sure. Apparently the NRA issued a statement regarding this. Law-abiding gun owners should be allowed to choose the safest storage options for their households. This one-size-fits-all ordinance will do nothing to keep children safer and only end up ensnaring law-abiding gun owners who choose to exercise their Second Amendment rights. I couldn't have said it better.
You don't have a whole PR team and marketing firm doing it for you. That's why.
And another California-related story: law enforcement sues L.A. over high-capacity magazine ban.
Hell yeah.
So they enacted a 10-round magazine ban. That there was a November 8th deadline for this. And apparently, there was already a statewide ban. Is that like a 15-round ban? It doesn't say in this article.
Well, I think the ban is detachable magazines, right? Something
No,
like
it's capacity 2.
Oh.
I think it's capacity 2, and I think if I recall, before 2000, you could have 30-round mags. Anything after that point was either a rebuild kit or, to rebuild an existing mags, allegedly, but manufacturing or selling them, according to this article anyway, was illegal. So I think up until 2000, you could buy and sell anything like that, and then afterwards it was illegal to do that or make them. But you could rebuild them, because I remember seeing people selling California rebuild kits, and it would just basically be, hey, look at this nice shiny PMag here. Oh, look, I just put it in all its parts.
Yeah. There are several companies doing that with pistol mags and rifle mags, just breaking them down and letting someone rebuild them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So hopefully California can win some ground back if they can successfully win this case. Just I don't envy California's. I have a lot of the same nuttiness going on in Illinois, but I'm thankful I don't have magazine ban of any kind.
Not yet.
Shh, stop it. Amish man sues to buy gun without photo ID.
Oh, pick me. I know all about this one.
Okay, tell me about this.
So actually, this was a lawsuit filed by our firm. My boss Josh is the attorney who filed the lawsuit. The gentleman is an Amish man from Pennsylvania who would like to purchase a gun from a dealer, but cannot do so because of the federal law. So in Pennsylvania, it is legal to have a face-to-face transfer of anything that is not a firearm. So that would be your typical long gun like a shotgun or a rifle. If you want to buy a firearm like a handgun, you have to buy it through a federal firearms licensee. Well, here's the problem. When you go to an FFL and you go to buy any gun, you have to present current photo ID. Well, his problem is that being Amish, it is against his religion to have his photograph taken. If I understand correctly, they believe that it's basically creating an image in the likeness of God, and they're not allowed to do it. So there's no way that he can go to a dealer and legally purchase a gun, which basically would put him into the position of having to choose between either his religion or exercising his Second Amendment rights. Now, there's an interesting twist to it in some sense, because Pennsylvania has recognized that this is a potential issue, and Pennsylvania has a provision in its law that would not require photo ID from a purchaser. Unfortunately, federal law trumps that, so here we are.
You know what's really interesting is in my dealings at gun shops in Amish country, I've actually seen IDs from the state of Pennsylvania. They say valid without photo and things like that. Like really interesting stuff that I never knew was a possibility because of the Amish faith being so strong here in PA. It's really interesting. I don't know how I feel about it. I feel like, if the rest of us have to deal with that, then so should they.
Nope. I disagree with you for two reasons. And by the way, just here's a quick side note for you about non-photo IDs. We issue license to carry firearms without photos on them. But the whole purpose of that photo ID is to verify somebody's identity, right?
Okay.
There's other ways to verify somebody's identity other than having their picture. So why is it only limited to the picture, right? It might be the easiest form. It might be the most convenient form for all of us, but there's other ways to have your identity proven.
Would that Amish man have an electric bill to verify that with, or?
Well, not an electric bill, but there's other things, and I'm not going to get into too deep of a discussion of it for a couple of different reasons. But there's other ways that you can prove your identity, right? There have to be, because let's face it, if you lost all of your photo ID and you needed new photo ID, you'd have to have some way to prove your identity, correct? Probably. So, well, I mean, you could probably just point to your YouTube channel. And there
That's
you go.
me.
That's me.
You can go get a copy of your birth certificate as long as you have a photo ID.
Well, I'll let you kick that one around for a little bit. So it's an interesting issue, and we'll see what comes of it. Here's another interesting little tidbit. The ATF has in the past issued a federal firearms licensee to a person of the Amish faith and not require them to submit photo ID in order to do so. And the reason for that is because ATF took the position that they promulgated the regulations that required that, whereas this is law set by Congress, so they have no right to waive it. So there's my 2 cents on it. It'll be an interesting one to watch.
Is that what lawyers call precedent?
No, because that wasn't from a court.
Oh, whatever. Your legal mumbo jumbo.
I mean, this is really interesting. I think it delves even deeper into individual rights. I mean, the state, local, state, federal, all these entities try to put all this restriction and control on us more and more every year. And no matter who you are, I think you have a fundamental right to, defend yourself, own a firearm, and be real interesting how this case hammers out.
Yeah. I'm torn. I really am. If I'm required to have a photo ID, I don't think anybody's religion trumps the fact that I have to have that. But if they don't have to, then I don't have to. I think that's right. I mean, that sounds reasonable.
The difference is it's a sincerely held religious belief. That's always been the standard. If you said you believed in the flying spaghetti monster and you had a sincerely held belief that the flying spaghetti monster was in fact a deity, courts have said in the past that it's your sincerity that matters, not whether or not it's an accepted religion by society.
Right.
I sincerely hope that the NFA gets abolished. I sincerely believe that I should own machine guns. I should, you know what I mean? Like that's ridiculous. You know that.
Doesn't Church of the Flying Spaghetti Monster, don't they get their driver's license taken with colanders on their head?
I have no idea. I don't know anything about it other than I've seen that little flying spaghetti monster on the back of people's cars, and I know what that is, but I don't know what it involves.
But yes, they do get colanders on their heads.
Okay, so that was a poor example.
Give me a colander.
Yeah, that's the second or third time the flying spaghetti monster. Spaghetti.
It's like that religion's version of Jesus. It's the spaghetti monster's name is Spaghetti.
He's learning to talk again. Enunciate.
I'm gonna get hate mail from religious groups now.
Listen, if you get hate mail from the flying spaghetti monster religion, please post it all over the internet because I want to laugh for 24 hours straight.
Should we leave Scientology out of it, or?
Well, that's a joke in its own right.
All right, so it looks like Illinois FOID-like gun control might be heading to Pennsylvania.
I can't get that website to work.
Neither can I.
I can tell you that that's not going to happen.
Yeah, that's right. Tell them, Adam.
It's not. You have. I'm echoing. I hear myself. Never mind. Okay. So it's crazy hearing yourself come back through the waves of the internet back into your own head. Anyway, so it's never going to happen in Pennsylvania for a couple different reasons. First, we have a Republican legislature. So you have Philadelphia and Pittsburgh, which are Democrat, and then everything else is red. So it's never going to even make it through. And this stuff's introduced into our our House and Senate all the time. So it's not going to happen.
Oh, ding ding.
You're all muted. Every one of you is muted.
I think John is where the echo is coming from, actually.
Yeah, maybe.
I think so too, but that was some dead air, man.
Yeah, put some put some headphones on, John. We were sign language, using sign language there. So
only the people on YouTube can see that. Everyone on the podcast is just going to, what happened?
Pull over your car, look up the YouTube video.
Train wreck.
All right, charges dismissed for a man who shot down drone. We talked about this before, and so the charges were dropped against this guy. Apparently, thinks justice was handled the right way here. He was in his right to protect his family and property, he said. So.
Well, I think the original story had something to do with it was hovering over his property, and his daughter was outside sunbathing or something like that. So it was something like literally having to do with privacy. If I remember the original time we read this story, which was a couple months ago, I think, he had been hovering. He had gone and said, "Don't do it." They basically continued to do whatever the hell they wanted, and he shot it down with a shotgun. So he got nailed with wanton endangerment and something like that for shooting a shotgun in the air and within proximity of other homes.
Did you say wanton endangerment?
He did.
Dude, it's right there in the actual...
Is that when you have bad Chinese food?
Wonton.
Wonton? Did I pronounce it wrong? Is that what you're making fun of me for?
Yeah, it's wanton.
It's wanton?
Yeah.
How do you say water, John? How about caramel, or is it caramel? Don't start with me.
Let's do Michigan accents.
No. All right, so basically what happened was wanton endangerment. Basically, they checked the flight data of the actual drone and everything, and it was, in fact, not where it should have been, and the judge agreed he was justified given the circumstances, and now they're saying it is... Basically, next time something like this happens, they're going to refer to it about future cases involving drones. I don't encourage people to go out and start blasting stuff for no reason. This is just... There clearly was a reason. That's why he got everything dismissed. I don't understand why people say things like that. But anyway.
Wait, flight data? Are you telling me these things have like black boxes? They go out and find this little black box?
Yeah, because what happens is a lot of these drones require multiple GPS connections. As a kind of a safety precaution, so if it goes flying off on you, or even just to position itself without what's called an optical flow sensor, which can actually read sort of a bump map of the Earth so that it can find its way back. So by having all that data and inbound, outbound communications to satellites as well as to receiver, the computer does keep track for both those GPS satellites as well as for feedback to the controller, how high it is, where it's located, within 30 feet.
Very interesting. So also this week, relating to this, the FFA is going to start requiring registration for all drones. And they've formed a task force, including Amazon, GoPro, Walmart, and others, to, within 30 days, form, I guess, this collective, agreement to what this drone registration will
We should
like.
Start calling this show This Week in Unenforceable Crap.
This week in government.
What about all the guys that can
ridiculous.
Just build one? What about ordering it directly from manufacturer? What about, Best Buy is not listed. Cool, let me go buy my junk at Best Buy.
I'm going to buy one from B&H.
No one buys anything from Best Buy anymore. I was just in there. I was tackled by like 12 employees wanting to talk to someone.
They got lonely.
Yeah. All right. Incoming refugees in Austria, especially women, are stocking up on shotguns, or because of the incoming refugees.
Awesome.
Yeah. So I don't know if any of you guys have been following the refugee crisis in Europe. but they're overwhelming a lot of these European countries, and apparently places where you can own firearms, the citizens are stocking up.
I think that's very telling about the culture over there. As much as we get compared to European countries, here they are doing exactly what we say to do. Stock up, get ready for something crappy, because these Syrians, especially, like everybody's afraid. The Syrians are apparently what everybody's worried about. The Middle Eastern countries, those refugees that are the same guys that are being pictured as ISIS terrorists, are being seen in places like Germany and Austria and France and all these other countries. And now the people of those countries are like, oh crap, what's about to happen? It's almost like an invasion. It's a slow invasion.
And it's funny because there's a lot of reports out there, John, that show just that. The biggest kind of intriguing thing I saw was that they're talking about reproductive rates and naturalized German citizens, or not naturalized, but natural. Is that the right word? If you're born in that country?
Yeah, I believe so. I'm not positive, though.
Anybody who has a degree? Anything?
I don't have a degree.
All right, so basically, Germans having children with Germans and making more German babies. Basically, all of the EU is not reproducing fast enough to sustain their own culture.
Right.
But the Muslim population, especially from that area and among those refugees, are multiplying at a rate to overtake. So that's a long game right there where it's, you know what, we're going to fight the fight and we're going to have some kids. Our kids will then fight the fight with us. And 3 to 4 generations in, there isn't an Oktoberfest anymore. There isn't any European nations. London is no longer tea and crumpets. It's just a slow bleed out of anything else. And right now, Europe is literally in danger. I think there's a couple countries that are considered beyond savable.
Well, I believe it was, forgive me if I'm incorrect. I believe it was one of the northern European countries, like Sweden,
like Scandinavia or something.
Yeah,
right?
yes. There was a guy that was just talking about his country and how the prime minister of his country was saying that the old version of their country is gone and they want the new version, whatever it is. They don't want to keep the traditions of what makes their country unique and great don't matter anymore. And we're going to start seeing stuff like that. And I think we're just very fortunate that these countries are not close enough to have these people coming into the U.S. And we will see a little bit of it. And our president, being the idiot that he is trying to welcome them with open arms, even though we've got our own problems to deal with, homeless people, plenty of veterans that need help. But yeah, let's go help these people from the other side of the world that already hate us. Let's do that. But the long and short of it is the Austrian women are smart for arming themselves.
The Austrians, yeah.
Yeah.
I just like that so many guns come from that part of the world and they're not even allowed to have them. Like, that's kind of weird.
Do we know anything about the Austrian regulations for firearms ownership?
I was reading up on it a little bit, and it's you have to go through a bunch of special licensing and permitting and approval processes to get a pistol, but long guns are fairly easy to acquire. I'm not sure if it's Austria or the Swiss. I know for a fact that the Swiss are they have to, I think, have at least one tour, so to speak, or be part of the armed services. They are to maintain at least one assault rifle, like a legitimate assault rifle, in the home, as long as there's someone there willing and able to fire it. Like, what's that town? Kennesaw, Georgia? Switzerland is basically one big Kennesaw, Georgia, where everyone has a gun.
Oh, right, yeah. Kennesaw requires gun ownership.
I'm like, how'd we get to Georgia?
Yeah. It was a long.
There's a segue there, but welcome to my brain. I mean, let's get the net. So I mean, essentially, long guns is a little less lengthy of a process, and that's why. And right now, I guess they can't keep shotguns because, just like the United States, they're one of the least regulated items. so they can't keep them in stock. They're going through like what we went through with AR-15s 3 years ago. They're going through shotguns right now. And we're talking everything. Shotguns, pump action. I mean,
That's awesome.
Just everything's flying off the shelves.
Everybody wants to run a gauge. Love it.
Joe
right.
Biden's blast 2 in the air.
Yeah.
Fire
They've
to
got
blast.
Buy a shotgun.
they've got
Buy a
posters. They've
shotgun.
got posters of him in the gun stores over there here.
I like posting that just to piss my parents off on my Facebook page. Buy a shotgun. Shotgun Joe.
All right, I had to add a new segment, maybe on and off again segment, but more. These stories are appearing more and more frequently. This is the "I'm offended" section. People who are controlled by their emotions strike again.
Oh my God! It's like this whole section was made just for me to lose my mind.
So Everytown for gun safety demands that presidential candidate Ben Carson apologize to the gun violence victims.
First of all, I would like to point out that the image that guns.com chose for this, the look on Ben Carson's face is just like, really?
It's a bitch please face.
It's a fantastic looking photograph.
It's like you'd like that, wouldn't you? It's not gonna happen.
So why is Everytown for gun safety and Moms Demand Action and other whiny little groups like that still getting media attention?
I don't know.
They have like
Hopes
4
for like a
people
Rocky
show up to
revival,
their.
or
There's like 4 people who show up to their rallies.
The mainstream media loves them. I mean, that's why. I mean, they're going to forever play whatever they have. You know, anytime they
Ben
do
Carson
anything.
apologized for a damn thing.
What's that?
Ben Carson ain't apologizing for a damn thing, and he'll tell you in like literally 30 seconds or less a very slow and eloquent way of why you're dumb.
All right, so Walmart's Israeli soldier costume is causing outrage.
I just like the Sheik Fagin nose on the bottom there.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
What's more racist, your kid as an IDF agent or the Sheik with the big nose like Jafar?
So.
I can show you the world.
Wow. So I would like to point out that this appears to be Walmart's, kind of Amazon-like shopping, where it's not actually sold by Walmart. At least some of this.
Marketplace.
Yeah, the marketplace.
It even says it's sold by Wholesale Halloween Costume. Right under ad registry.
There you go. So this is not. It's on their site, and they did a terrible job policing it.
Also, this kid has an Uzi, so you know he's gangster.
So wait, why can't they sell an IDF soldier outfit? I don't.
Because I'm sure it offends the sensibilities of somebody somewhere.
Yeah, the people who support Palestine. People are just enjoying butthurt way too much.
All right, the last story in this segment: student suspended for posting photo with rifle, and it's a photo with a rifle that he took at his school when the Canadian Armed Forces came visiting the high school on Labor Day.
That's amazing.
Oh my God, he's learning entrapment. That's such a young age. You can't, there's no book for that.
I'm curious to know what happened after the fact, because I saw this earlier this week, and apparently they realized they made a mistake, and they made a bad judgment call there, and told his mom that he could come back, and yet he still hasn't come back to school.
I would own that school.
Yeah, my lawyer told me not to.
I would like to point out that the Canadian Armed Forces did not teach him proper trigger discipline. Disappointed I am.
America Light is just botching it left and right.
Yeah, seriously. Let's real quick give a shout out to the incredible headline on the top left. Insecure beta male preaches about how to be a modern man. Internet laughs at him. Come on, that's fantastic. I love this website.
All right, as always, there's too much to cover. Extra stories are in the show notes here at thisweekinguns.com/140. So you can check those out. You can contribute to the Firearms Radio Network and This Week in Guns by shopping with our Amazon affiliate link. Just click through the banners on the website or bookmark firearmsradio.tv/Amazon. If you're buying Christmas presents this early, or if you're buying stuff at work, anything like that, really appreciate it if you go over to firearmsradio.tv/Amazon. That will take you directly to Amazon's front page. So we are to the full auto having a stroke here. Full auto news segment. Stories the real media won't talk about and other crazy stuff. Each host picks a story to call their own. Who's ready?
I'm ready.
All right, go, John.
So, Richard Ryan, he went and shot a .22 at his truck, and he wanted to see if it would go through a windshield. And let's real quick get an answer from the panelists. Don't watch the video. Jake, do you think it went through?
Okay, I honestly have not watched the video.
Good.
Do I think it went through a windshield? No, I do not.
Okay. Adam, did it go through?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, Josh. You're muted.
Muted.
Yeah, get mad.
Yes.
Okay, so it did actually go through. It fragged on the way through, which is pretty interesting. It's a very, minute and a half long video. Incredible slow-mo because that's what he does. And it's pretty impressive, and I think it's pretty simple physics. It's a very, very small point pushing through, and if the ammo is, traveling at a significant enough speed, it's not a problem at all.
Well, and I don't think people realize how tough and durable a windshield actually is.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. They're actually tough to shoot through from the outside.
Because I had a vehicle before that I had the windshield all busted up on it, and I had to physically rip it out, and it's incredible how tough and durable. Because essentially it's two sheets of glass with like a polymer lining in between them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's pretty durable. So yeah, that is interesting. All right, Josh, what do you got?
Gun hoarder found with thousands of weapons.
Ooh.
A South Carolina man is facing charges after authorities say they found 7,000 to 10,000 guns stored on his property.
That's amazing.
So,
I'm not even mad.
Well, they're saying that he bought some of them, stole some of them. Basically, a lot of these were illegally obtained, like from murders from other drug guys, because apparently he's been peddling opium and heroin. And the part that makes me kind of immediately is this quote from the cops. It says, "There were so many guns we quit counting after a while," Sheriff Jay Brooks said. So at what point do you just say,
I can't count that high.
Let's just call it 7 to 10K.
That's a lot of guns.
That is an obscene. Like, how big was this house? Did he have Connex boxes? Like, I don't understand.
That's just Chief says to call it 7 or 10,000 guns. You take what you want home.
Yeah, the media will eat that up. Maybe we'll get that budget increased. I don't know. I want to see pics or it didn't happen. 7 to 10,000.
I would like to point out that the guy, he does look like the type of gentleman that would own that many guns.
So shaved Jabba the Hutt on Atkins, or?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Jake, hold it together. This is a professional-ish show we're doing here.
Did he have a Princess Leia?
Like I said, Pixar didn't happen.
All right, Adam.
Oh, man.
No, don't do that. You had time.
Yeah, alright. I guess I'll go with the 17 years for a man who stole 111 guns from Smith & Wesson. In fact, he might have been doing them a favor, actually.
You had wanton time.
So, the Connecticut truck driver was sentenced to more than 17 years in prison for stealing 111 firearms for Smith & Wesson and quickly selling dozens of them on the street, the Justice Department announced Tuesday. Basically, this guy worked for a shipping company, was assigned to a route that went past Smith & Wesson, or went to Smith & Wesson, I guess I should say, and he picked up some guns and then disposed of them somewhere along his route. Apparently he spent about 35 minutes doing it with another accomplice, and ATF caught up with him. So he is going to spend some time in prison. And looking at the picture, there's a lot of revolvers.
J-frames galore. Hammerless J-frames.
There appears to
probably
be
a 642.
there appears to be a was SD 40 or 9 VE, and it looks like 2 shields.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of J-frames, and some mags too.
That's how they caught him, was the shields, because he stole those when nobody could get any.
Yeah. Well, they said it was November 8th, 2012.
Yeah,
that
right
is
around the
literally
time.
right before things popped off and got really bad.
Right.
So
J-frames, man, those things sell like hotcakes.
yeah, they do. They're a pretty good seller.
I don't know why.
The 642 is like one of the most popular guns for like men in their 60s and 70s right now. So they love them.
That's so weird.
That's what they're comfortable with, man.
Yeah. All right, Jake.
All right, Walking Dead fan beats to death friend he thinks was turning into a zombie. So, Walking Dead fanatic in Grants, New Mexico was in the middle of binge watching all the episodes on Netflix Thursday. He took the show way too seriously when he believed his friend was turning into a zombie and beat him to death.
I'd just like to point out that this article is on guns.com. What? What does this have to do with guns?
The Walking Dead, man.
Oh, is that what we're doing? This
Zombies. Yeah,
Guns are bad.
Wait, did you not see when the gun industry went full zombie and everything, even EOTech had reticles for zombies?
Now, zombie is automatically
reviewed that.
associated with guns. So.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not.
Come on, John. You have like a media empire here. Get with it.
I think I reviewed that zombie EOTech.
Did you really?
Yeah, I think Four Guys Guns has a zombie, an EX... What?
How do you have any credibility left?
That is a handsome question. I battle that every day.
So, yeah, it said the two gentlemen had consumed large amounts of alcohol when watching The Walking Dead, but things went downhill when one of them began to bite the other one. And
Drugs are bad, okay?
I just want to nibble on your ear real quick.
started beating his friends first with his hands and feet, then a guitar, and eventually a microwave.
Holy crap, that got out of hand quick.
This got real. It got real fast. Like, he thought he was a zombie.
How do you get a microwave to beat somebody with?
Because the guitar wasn't doing it.
Yeah, he's still fighting after the guitar. He's probably like, I'm not a zombie, and he's like, shut up, zombie.
You ever been hit with a nightstand?
I just picture this guy getting smashed over the head with a microwave and his body just like his arms and legs flailing.
As cartoonish as possible.
Yes, as cartoonish as possible.
So the caption under the picture of Christopher Packen says Christopher Packen was not a zombie, but lost his life at the hands of his friend who believed he was. That's amazing.
You can't make that up.
Yeah. And we're all terrible for laughing at this.
I am not terrible. That is funny.
He had consumed a, quote, large amount of alcohol.
I just want to understand why he thinks his friend was a zombie, yet when there's a guy running around Florida eating people's faces, he was not treated like a zombie.
So, do we think he was drinking Fireball whiskey, or... yeah, see, I knew Josh would...
I got a little itch now just because you said Fireball whiskey. I'm like, ooh, maybe.
Was it the AK-47 vodka thing? You know, is that how we're going with it?
When you mix the clear and the brown, it's not so good.
Was it Tequila?
Tequila? It was wonton amounts of tequila.
All right, we should probably cover this one. Dog named Trigger shoots hunter. An Indiana woman was accidentally shot in the foot when her dog stepped on her shotgun on Saturday.
I've got nothing.
The gun safety was off. That's her fault.
It's like rain on your wedding day.
That's not ironic. I don't think she knows the definition of irony.
I got shot by my dog named Trigger.
That's ironic.
All right, any of these other...
Quentin Tarantino is a piece of crap.
All right, cover that quick, John. Explain that to people.
So this is real simple. He's boycotting cops or like protesting police violence or I don't know some nonsense he's come up with to try and stay relevant, and nobody likes him anyway.
I didn't mean to like hear it to see his okay. So and his head jerky shenanigans, like he just hasn't gotten his meth fix. I can't even deal with Quentin Tarantino.
Self-important garbage.
Ugh.
Yep.
And he hasn't aged well either.
Yeah, apparently he's come out as a cop hater. So I was at an anti-cop rally.
Are we shocked?
I like the quote from Patrick Lynch, the president of the Patrolmen's Benevolent Association. I don't know where to go. It's no surprise that someone who makes a living glorifying crime and violence is a cop hater too.
Also, he makes convoluted, crappy movies. Moving on. So there's another one here that I think just needs an honorable mention. Feds find 2,600-foot drug smuggling tunnel through the U.S. border and 12 tons of pot. Holy crap!
12 tons?
12 tons!
That's like a lot of pot, man.
I mean, I
can't even count that high.
But is it fair trade? That's what's most important right now.
It's not into Colorado.
You got to get there, though. I mean, you can't just airlift out of Mexico. Do they have an international airport that goes to Mexico freight?
I'll tell you what. I will say the way that cartels do stuff, especially this kind of stuff, is nothing short of pretty impressive if you look at it from just the standpoint of
logistics.
Like logistics. Oh, look, a border. Oh, look, border. You know what? We're just gonna dig a tunnel. Here's 12 tons of pot. We're just going to... crap, this one didn't work out. We have 18 others that you don't know about, so what's that?
I mean, you got to imagine the conversations.
You tired of digging yet? Yeah, I'm tired of digging.
A Cheech and Chong impression. Or
we make
sounding
the tunnel
like
bigger, man. We make the tunnel bigger.
You throw a flag, and then you dig through the ground.
Because think about this. It's not like they got up one morning and said, we need a tunnel big enough to fit 12 tons of marijuana through. No, this was probably like somebody scurried for like 6 months with 3 pounds or a kilo or whatever the hell. And eventually they were able to afford equipment to make it, big enough to push a carriage through. And eventually that led to more, income. So they got a bulldozer. I don't know. It was there long enough for them to build a goddamn Boston Big Dig underneath the damn border to
let's describe the tunnel here, because it's serious. Like, there's tracks for little carts to push all the pot back and forth. There appears to be a lot of deep cycle batteries, to power everything. There's conduit going through. There's lights. I mean, this is a serious thing. They spent a lot of money on this.
This isn't the first time I've seen something like this
San Diego. That's impressive.
Yeah, this is not the first tunnel, and I think was it you, Adam, that said there was 8 more of them.
I'm sure. And
totally.
Josh, your impression is funny about the little guy, digging a small tunnel, but I guarantee you the cartels are like, "Yo, take this backhoe and go."
Yeah,
go
right.
To the and a day later, this thing was done.
And there's no supports or anything, so it's like they were just working a jackhammer and making the hydraulic hose longer as they went. I mean, this is just through rock.
Yeah, maybe they were using that conduit. I don't know. It's impressive. I think what this really means is we need to just legalize pot and not have to worry about crap like this.
That would solve it.
Another honorable mention, I know it's not like something super cool or not super crazy or funny, but the Lav actually put out a pretty cool video. I don't know if it was him or just his production team, so to speak, but Vickers Tactical put together what could be one of the most comprehensive collections of random object impact shots filmed in super slow-mo. If anyone loves super slow-mo, I know it's John Patton himself.
That's
but
right.
One of the things that I always go back and forth with John is like, listen, it's really cool that we can do 20,000 frames per second, but if it's not in HD, who the hell cares? And this is done in HD. It's done at 720 and 1080, so you can watch super slow-mo, apples, and all that fun stuff. Anybody who just wants some cool visuals, maybe Facebook share, whatever it may be, this is a pretty cool video. Give it a little look.
I would like to point out that the camera that is required to capture this costs more than most people's homes.
Well,
So
you're
put
not
that-
Larry Vickers or working with him, so.
Right. That's totally the case, and this footage is incredible.
So, funny story, so does Larry's dinner bill. Who knew?
Wow. Oh, amazing.
He's going to find me, I know it.
He's going to shank you.
All right, Patriot Patch Company makes this episode possible. You can pre-order the Patriotic Flag 4-pack of patches at patriotpatch.co, and we also have the diversity T-shirts because we're all about diversity.
Am I misreading it, or is he turning into the John Goodman of the gun world? Is it just me? Am I reading that wrong?
I don't know. Let's wrap the show up and we'll talk about it later.
I didn't mean to interrupt, Jacob.
All right, Josh,
blurted
what's
out.
up? Four Guys Guns?
Nothing. We're doing a lot of things at the same time right now. If all goes well, we'll have a new review up tomorrow, and it is the Kydex review that nobody wants to do. I will leave it at that. But it's about 8 minutes. We cover about 5 different manufacturers and highlight why we don't do all of them. And we also are traveling a hell of a lot, as we talked about earlier with John. I may have had something else fall on my lap that is just adding to my travel. And we're starting to drift a little bit more towards the actual media side of things, on the creation kind of angle as opposed to the review stuff. So it's really interesting to see what's going to happen, in 2016 with Four Guys Guns. But hey, man, the road to success is never a straight line, right?
That's right.
Very cool. So 4guysguns.com.
Yeah, follow us at, you can check our website, 4guysguns.com. We try and upload new content at least every week. We also are, the fastest way to, kind of see what we're up to is Facebook and Instagram, and that's both at 4guysguns. We are also on Twitter if that's your drug of choice. We're trying to do more Periscopes, and also on Spotify and Tumblr. All of them are at 4guysguns.
Do you Periscope your Craigslist transactions?
That was supposed to be a secret, Jake.
I thought we talked about that last time.
Yeah,
No,
seriously.
That was Ebbs, I think.
Richard Slippy's fun grease is not something to be taken on the air.
What?
I don't even know what's happening right now.
John, the Gun Collective, you've been doing a lot of cool stuff lately. What's up?
So the Gun Collective still chugging along. TGC News airs every Monday evening. That's going really well. People are really, really loving that show, so I'm super pumped and proud of that. That's going to be something to be watching over the next few months here. I'm actually looking to try and expand the show lineup, so if any of you guys out there listening have some crazy ideas and stuff you want to see, please let me know. Other than that, I'm hustling, just on the road all the time, filming, going to different events. To give you guys an idea, like I said at the beginning of the show, I've been around at home for less than an entire week in the last month. So I was in Virginia, then North Carolina, then Georgia, then Florida, then back to North Carolina, home for like 3 days. Then I was out to Denver. Then I was home for a day. Then I was in Indiana, which I got home from this past weekend. and in another couple weeks I'll be in California filming more stuff. The hustle don't stop, and money doesn't come to people that stand still. So I got to keep moving, and things are going really well. Super happy about it.
Very cool. Yeah, I'm really excited to see how your new brand is exploding.
Well,
Doing
thank
a
you,
lot of
man.
cool stuff.
For those of you out there that are not familiar, check me out on Facebook.com/The Gun Collective, Instagram, Twitter, also on Full30.com, which is like the gun version of YouTube. It's pretty awesome. Lots of good content there. So yeah, thank you.
What's YouTube? Hey, Adam, what's up with the lawyering stuff?
You know, we're lawyering hard, I guess.
Lawyering so hard, bro.
Yeah. I mean, obviously we talked about it earlier, but we filed suit against the government again, because that's what we do. Dealing with some other issues, FFL revocations, things like that. So yeah, you know, just peeing in the government's Cheerios as much as possible. I guess that's what we kind of do.
That's awesome.
Ruining somebody's day anyway.
You need a business card with that.
Peeing in the government's Cheerios every day.
I wonder if I could get that done. Anyway.
Esquire.
You should get that in the middle of your name, so it's Adam peeing in the government's Cheerios Kraut.
You know, I'll look into that. Maybe I could get a name change done.
God, please, yes.
Yes, and the Esquire whisper is fantastic. That would make a great commercial. It could be like Brian Wilson, Texas Law Hawk, only not nearly as insane as that commercial was.
We're here to pee in the government's Cheerios on your behalf.
So if I could get my train of thought here, I guess the only other thing that we got coming up, and I, pumped it a number of different times, but April 30th, May 1, 2016, machine gun shoot, Monroton, PA, at the Shooter's Gauntlet. It's sponsored by Firearms Industry Consulting Group and the Shooter's Gauntlet, and it's going to be a bomb fun event. There's going to be different manufacturers are coming. I've gotten FN responded that they'll be there. I just heard back from Liberty Silencers. They're going to be there as well. So we have a main range for machine gun shooting and area for people to demo manufacturers' guns. It is approved as a sanctioned event, so dealers can transfer firearms on site. And
wow.
Yeah, and we constructed a silencer range that's going to be away from the main range, so that you'll be able to actually shoot the silencers and appreciate what they do. So if there's a can you've been looking for by Silencer Co. or SIG Silencers or Liberty and potentially some other silencer manufacturers, this might be the time for you to come play with them before you buy one.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, that's such a good idea.
Dude, that sounds awesome.
That was my idea. So I'll just take credit for that one.
Right.
But it should be an awesome event. It's going to be the first go round at it, so we're hoping that over time this will become bigger and bigger. But we're going to try and make it one hell of a first run. So
yeah, sounds like it, dude.
that information is in the show notes at the top under my name. If you're listening to the podcast, you don't get to the show notes. StoneMachineGun.com. It'll have all the information you need to register. Also, there's going to be like a zip line and some other cool activities on the property. Yeah, you can actually engage targets on the zip line.
What? No way.
Yeah. So it's going to be there's going to be some neat stuff going on there, and that's April next year. So make sure to mark the calendar now and tell your friends.
Yes, and the Firearms Radio Network and Patriot Patch will be there.
That's right. Yeah, you guys will be there.
And if any listeners, viewers come up to me and say, "Hey, I sometimes watch, you guys on this podcast," I'll give you a free morale patch of your choice. So.
Wow,
that's pretty cool. And if any of you come up and introduce yourselves to me, I'll say, "Hi, I'm Adam. It's a pleasure to meet you."
Also, punch Adam right in the face when you see him.
Please don't do that.
Adam's gonna be there giving free hugs all day.
And ZJs.
I gotta buy one of those that I can just write Dirty Randy on.
The hello, my name is.
Hello, my name is Dirty Randy.
Dirty Randy.
Oh man. Well, thanks for committing me to things I can't necessarily keep, but that's okay.
Yeah, like getting punched in the face.
Ah, come on.
Oh, this is why we're friends.
That about wraps up our show. You can leave your feedback by commenting on the bottom of this YouTube video and bottom of the show notes at thisweekinguns.com/140. Leave us that iTunes review, and don't forget to contribute using the Amazon affiliate links. I'm about all done talking for the night.
And if you want to send hate mail,
Very important.
Be John at, what's your email?
Yeah, sure. It's Whitey at fourguysguns.com. That's what it is.
And that only applies to members of Scientology or the Church of the Flying Spaghetti Monster.
Yes.
bring it. I'm a
Religious
pasta
hate
cooking
mail.
fool.
Oh.
That marinara dough.
Wait, can they not eat pasta because it's their god?
I cook their god 2 to 3 times a week, so I mean...
That flying spaghetti is so delicious.
All right.
I'm going to go take a picture of my pasta and literally just make a meme out of it saying, "Where is your god now?"
This deteriorated quickly. End it.
All right. Thank you, Josh.
Pleasure to be here, Jake. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, John.
Hey, thanks for having me back. It was fun.
And thank you, Adam.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me.
That's a wrap, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.